Hi, everyone. Welcome to Finding Your Voice podcast. My name's Ronnie,
And I'm Michael.
and we have a special guest with us today. Her name is Merge.
Yes, Merge is here. This is technically our second official guest on the podcast in episode 5 of season 1, and we are super excited to have her here. And also, if you haven't noticed, we're in a new setting. We got a bigger budget, kind of. Solomon was really nice to give us this space. Yeah. First of all, I want to check in with you, Veronica, because you just came back from a trip. How was that?
It was fun.
Where'd you go?
I went to Yosemite.
Oh, the shirt's fitting.
Hold on. My hair is covering my breasts. Yosemite. Yeah, it was good. It was hot. It was like 106.
Hmm.
Up in the mountains, which I did not expect. And then at night it was like lower 80s.
Oh my
So we
gosh.
were sweating the whole
Were you
time.
camping or glamping?
Glamping, I think.
Okay, glamping.
Yeah. It
Okay.
was like we did have a lodge room with
Mhm.
AC, so that's
Mhm.
glamping.
Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay. Was it spiritual? Was it like a healing sort of deal?
It
What
was
did you
it
wanna
was
take
for
out of it?
my anniversary. It was to, intended for me and my husband to celebrate and get closer together.
Mhm.
I think we achieved it, but it was like heavy activity, meaning like hiking.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
it was so so sore.
Oh my
2 days of
gosh.
full hiking, and I'm like, just yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun.
I enjoy hiking. I, enjoy nature, but sometimes those hikes can be treacherous. Like, remember how we went hiking with, our best
Yeah,
friends
yeah, yeah.
and, some of us couldn't keep up?
Oh, no, no, no.
So,
Well, the one friend who could not keep up,
yeah,
I was back to back with her,
that's true.
and I was like
That's
pushing her
true.
up
I
the
think I was,
hill.
20 yards ahead
Yeah,
of
well,
y'all.
you like ran
Well, I
ahead.
have long legs. I don't know what to tell you.
You needed to
Um,
pee.
that's true. When do I not need to pee? Okay. I think we'll just hop right into it because we
Yeah.
don't want to waste any time. But you already saw the big reveal merges here, and I know some of our loyal viewers, our Barnumals at home, are probably freaking out, oh my God, we really want Merge on the podcast.
She's
Well,
here in
there
the
you go.
flesh.
Here she
She's
is. And
here.
before I do that, we have an amazing bio that I want to share with you here. So we're gonna do another reveal. Solomon, get this ready. So don't show her. We're pretending this is the beginning of it. We don't know that
You
she's
don't
here.
even know.
Pretend she's not here. Here we
You
go.
never know.
Here we go. Merge is a Filipino born, SoCal bred singer, songwriter, nurse, and creative. She is a true restless soul with hobbies ranging from calligraphy and hand embroidery to learning about different wounds in the body and soul. She is currently working as a nurse as well as leveling herself up in school, but also makes time to perform when she can. On days off, she enjoys being by the ocean and being hugged by the sun and in nature, often bringing her journal to reflect on the day. A lifelong learner, Merge strives to make herself better one lesson at a time and is constantly inspired by those around her. Her goal is always to make people feel safe, welcomed, validated, comfortable, and cared for. She will always be everyone's biggest cheerleader, whether you're her closest friend or a stranger on the street. Can attest that is very true. If you have a dream, she's rooting for you to achieve it. With her sister as her inspiration, Merge moves forward in life to not only be a safe space for healing, but a person who strives to make others' lives better. Please welcome our second official guest of the Finding Your Voice podcast, Merge Like You Merge on a Freeway.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh my God, hear the
Yay!
applause.
Very, very cute.
That was a good
Hello.
intro.
Yeah.
That was cute.
She
wrote
wrote
it.
herself.
Thanks.
Oh, she's such a wordsmith. I
I
love
know,
it.
absolutely. She's a
Thank-
writer.
Thank you.
Welcome,
thank you.
Merge.
Welcome.
Thank you. This is my very first podcast that I'm on, so I'm really excited to be here on Finding Your Voice.
Yay.
I've watched all the episodes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I've done my research, but I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to share my voice as well as listen to your guys's. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
really
absolutely. I
excited.
think we'll just spearhead and say that. What,
Yeah, go for it.
Ronnie? Why don't you reveal what today's topic is for the episode?
Where's the camera at? Oh, there it is.
It's like you're
Today's-
doing this for the first time.
this new setting.
Technically,
That's
it
true.
is.
New
Technically,
setting,
you're
right?
right. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So today's topic is therapy.
Woo!
Woo! We're gonna dive deep into the topic of therapy, what led us into the journey of therapy and the lessons we've learned.
Mhm.
And yeah, we can jump right into it, I guess.
Okay. do we maybe
Yeah.
want to briefly talk about how we fell into therapy
Ooh.
and then throw it off
Ooh.
to Merge? So I'll start with you, popcorn you,
Okay.
because you're sitting to the left of me and
God.
you're
Okay.
closest to the camera.
Man, you're making me dive
It's okay.
deep.
You could do it
Right.
briefly.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um. Before we begin,
Oh, okay.
didn't we agree that we would have like a safe word?
Yes.
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 It was
Yeah.
Cookie Monster.
Yes.
If anything became too uncomfortable to talk about and or we're diving deeply into a
Mhm.
subject we really don't want to um take, you know, take us into a dark path,
Mhm.
our safe word is Cookie Monster.
So if at any point you hear us say those words, it's because we're helping to move the segment along to not make it any uncomfortable for any of ourselves or our guests. So it's
Yeah.
weird if I just go Cookie Monster,
Yeah.
So
Someone says Cookie Monster, the next person will take over
yes.
and start
Yes.
talking.
Okay. That's good.
But
Thank you for
yeah,
the
I just had to
disclaimer.
preface this because
Good,
like
good, good.
I started having a crisis when you popcorned me.
I'm sorry. I'm so
Aw.
sorry. I'm so sorry. If you want, I can start and then you can.
You can start.
Okay.
Let me like stew a little.
Sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure. I just
Yeah.
over briefly because I want to get to Merge.
Take your time.
I love that we're speaking about therapy. This has always been like a subject that we've been wanting to unpack. For me, I grew up in a household that it wasn't really celebrated to practice mental health or to speak on those issues and such. So I was never encouraged to, as a teenager, or even high school, or even by my own family members, to go get mental help. It always was looked at as like a stigma or a negative thing. Where like, oh, if you get a therapist, then something's absolutely wrong with you.
Like you're gonna
Which
go to like the loony bin or
absolutely, or you're like a psych ward
asylum.
or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Exactly. And so, which I quickly realized was not. But real briefly, what led me to taking the therapy was coming out of a very tumultuous relationship, if you will, and a connection that was significant to me in such a way that ended, albeit abruptly, but you kind of saw all of the rocks falling as
Mm,
it was unfolding, and it
yeah.
was inevitable. And so it really was a catalyst to me stepping into therapy and finally seeking help and figuring out, okay, why did I feel so hurt by that? Why was I so attached to this person? Why did I put this person on a pedestal and make them out to be something they're completely not? And so I learned about my attachment issues and such. And my therapist, I love her. We've been together for like a little over a year now. I just had a
Yeah.
session with her like last week, and it was great. And so I'm just on that journey now to healing. And obviously, the journey for healing is not linear. But either way, I'm grateful to have stepped into that. So it took getting out of a very tumultuous relationship and connection to finally seek those answers within myself. So, in
Mhm.
the grandest way possible, I just have to say thank you to that experience for what, even though it was heartbreaking.
It's
Are you still in
beautiful.
therapy?
Absolutely. Yeah, I just had a session. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Actively when I can afford it.
For real.
Because it's
Well, at least
expensive.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But at least you're going to
Yeah.
therapy.
Yeah.
I'm still not ready to go yet.
That's
I'm
okay.
ready.
You ready to go?
Oh,
All right,
yes.
Mary, let's do
It's
it.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're totally fine. And if you need a popcorn, I'm
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
not saying the safe word just yet.
No
no,
worries.
you're
That's okay.
good. I wanted to
That shit's
start
deep.
with I wanted to get all like nerd glasses on and start with the definition of therapy
Oh,
according to
okay.
the
Oh,
Oxford
Take us to school.
Dictionary.
Okay.
So the definition of therapy is a treatment intended to relieve or heal a disorder, but in our terms, like it doesn't have to be just a disorder. It's also like healing through situations. It can be anything, right? So this can come in many ways. So like for us, it's more recently, especially like it's friends. I feel friends and family connections. And we'll get into this a little bit later, but journaling, like Michael and I brought our journals. So
It's right here on my. Yes.
Wow.
Hers looks like
Okay.
a wizard book. It looks like a
yeah,
spell.
literally, I put all of my intentions. I write poetry in here. I do
Aw.
calligraphy in here. I put literally everything in here.
I
And
thought it was a Bible.
You thought it
She's a
was a Bible?
Bible. It is her
Yes,
Bible.
everybody thinks it's a Bible. It's not, but
I'd be too afraid to touch it because it's so pretty.
Oh no, the cool thing about this is that like us, it's it can take like a hit, right? So this is actually pretty strong,
Oh, okay.
and the more you use it, the prettier it gets. It's actually, this has been since 2022, I think. May 2022 was my first one in this specific one,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's only gotten better with age, and I'm almost done with it. So there's only a
Oh.
few more pages
What
left.
do you do when you're finished with it? Like,
I
do
just
you
hold on to it.
you
Yeah, I
hold on
have.
to
This
it?
is my second one that I'm gonna finish.
Okay.
So
Want to
yeah.
drop the link in the podcast?
I'm
Because
gonna give
like
my Amazon
Affiliate link?
affiliate link. And literally, I found it on Amazon. You just type
Oh,
in like
serious?
leather
Okay.
journal.
Can I
Yeah.
feel it?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh my
We're
goodness.
treating
Just keep
it like
talking
it's a
while
whole
we're
I know.
fact.
Legit.
know.
Legit.
This is from
See
the
it?
Merge.
Can I
Absolutely.
see it too? Oh my gosh.
You guys
It's
are
really
so
cool.
cute.
It feels like
No, but
real
also
leather.
I
I'm
felt
pretty
the
sure it
pages
is.
earlier, but it feels really like canvasy. Isn't that
Oh, that's
cool?
kind of cool.
Yeah, I
This
think
entire podcast
it's
is
in
like,
the $20 to $30 range, so it's
Okay, it's
totally
affordable.
affordable.
Yeah.
And this one lasted me 2 years, so it's worth it. It's like an
Dang.
investment, right?
thank you.
And also for me, I'm a little bit picky.
Yeah.
And since we got into like the topic of therapy, my therapist told me to write in it, as often as I can. And for me, I initially didn't want to. Like I got into journaling when I was younger, and I didn't want to get into it when I was older because I won't say who, but one of my family members had read my journal, and I just did not want to do it anymore. So I
Like
used
just pride and like they
like
opened
the
the
it
journal
was
and
worst
just
started
thing.
reading.
I kind of just left it on the couch,
Oh, okay.
and it was, but it's like it's still not yours to read.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it kind of made me have an aversion to writing in
Right.
it. And then when I did get into writing in it after that, I wanted to write in it daily, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to write in it daily, but the thing is, that's not how life works. You don't have a commitment like that daily to this unless that's what you really want to do. But for me, I really had to get over that hump and not feel the need to like, hey, if I don't write on it every day, it's like worthless. So now this has become like in the medical terms, since I'm a nurse, we call it PRN, which means as needed. So
Mm.
for this, I use it as needed, which is pretty often. But yeah, that's therapy to me. This is a part of it. Going back to like the beginning of our topic, therapy. Should I start like when I started therapy? Is that
Yeah,
what we're talking about?
how did you get into therapy?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was in a really long relationship and it ended. And this was one that kind of like shaped kind of who I was at that up to that point because it was quite long. And I had to get over it, obviously. But I didn't tell anybody. I actually, first of all, I didn't tell any of my friends for like 10 months. Michael, who is one of my closest
Yeah.
friends, I didn't tell him until 10 months
That's
later.
understandable. It's something that you can't like divulge to anyone
Oh, of
just
course.
yet. Only when
Yeah.
you're ready.
Yeah, of course. And then it took me 3 months to find a therapist and actually like find help and get
Yeah.
into therapy
Yeah.
because I really was I was thugging it out and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna chug on. And then I got to a point where I was like, okay, I need to talk to someone. So I went off of, I will not name it, but I went off of a subscription based therapy that we will not name. And because we're not sponsored. And
You
I
still
met,
name it. It's fine. Maybe.
No, it's
well,
okay,
no,
it's
no,
okay.
no.
No, no, no.
I met my therapist there
Yeah.
and she wanted to leave. So
Oh.
when she wanted to leave,
Oh.
That's-
Never mind.
That's why. I know how the story goes.
when she wanted to leave, I was
Yeah.
like, "You're not leaving me," because we're like this already.
Yeah.
So when she left, I left, and I'm still with her now. I used to need therapy. I think in the beginning of that parting ways with that partner, I needed it between 2 to 3 times a week. Like I was like, dang, I need to talk to you. I
That's
need to talk to you.
understandable.
There's something going
Yeah.
on. I need to talk to you. And
Would
then
would
yeah.
you mind just sharing how long that relationship was? I think it might help for our viewers at home.
Yes, it was more than 10 years. So
Girl.
let's just go with that. I'm
Girl.
not gonna say how long, but it was more than 10.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
yeah, so it's someone who I met when I was younger, and you know how it is when you're young, you're more susceptible, you're more moldable, and yeah, it took a while to get over that. I mean, obviously it
Yeah.
makes sense, right?
Mhm.
So I needed more than just my willpower,
Mm.
even though it's strong. but yeah, so that's how I met my therapist. She's really cool. And I still talk to her, but just like my journal, it's PRN now. So it's a lot less. Like I tapered how much, and not to say I don't need it all the time, but now our conversations are more just like checkups. It's
Mm.
Oh,
more
oh,
like,
nice.
hey, how are you? Hey, this is how life's going. This is a little hard, but this is doing well, and this is. But once in a while, I will come to her and I'll be like, hey, what do you think I should do about this? What do you think I should do about that? You know,
Yeah.
she's the one who got me into journaling. Let me pull out my journal.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh. Yeah.
she got you back
So
into
she got me
journaling.
back into
Oh,
journaling. So when I was struggling to get over this relationship, um, she was like, "Have you tried journaling? Like, have you tried writing it down? Have you tried blah blah?" I told her I did try, but it's really hard for me because like I can't do it every day. So she gave me homework. And that for me, I'm
Mhm.
like studious. I
Yeah.
have been in school forever and ever. And homework makes sense to me. So she gave me a task. She was like, hey, I want you to write in your journal, but don't feel like you can't like take a day or two off. I just want you to write in it at least once this week. And write in it at least twice this week, you know? So it took a lot of that load off of like I have to write every single day, talk about every single thing, every little thing that happened, you know. That's not what it's about. At least for me. Some people
Yeah.
they do want it for that. Some people want to have a whole account of their life and that's cool. But for me, like I use it as a kind of like a catch-all. You know those little dishes, those ring
Yeah,
dishes. You
yeah,
That's
come
yeah.
home
cute.
and you're like,
Yeah.
I
You're
check
like,
my phone in. I'm chucking everything in here. I
uh-huh.
got like I'll show you guys later, but I got like ideas and I got like
Cool.
poetry. I got calligraphy in here. I
I
showed
took a
Michael earlier.
peek. It's kind of like art, honestly.
It's literally
'Cause she
like
has the most beautiful handwriting, by the way. Like, oh my
oh,
god.
and some ugly ones in here too, though. So
Yeah.
there's pretty, there's ugly, and that's
Yeah.
how life is, right? That's how life is. So
That's
that's
beautiful.
my entrance into
I
therapy.
love it. And I love that the journal is such a huge beacon for your journey. No, it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I bet you see journaling as a way of therapy as
it is.
well,
Mhm.
It
right?
is one of
When
the
you
forms.
don't have access to a therapist,
Yeah,
pen and paper, honey, that will take you
exactly.
places.
And sometimes if I'm traveling and I don't have my book, I'm like, oh my gosh,
Mm.
where's my
Yeah.
book? Like, or I'll write down like the thoughts on my like notes app or something, you know, and then I'm just like, okay, we're gonna come back to it. We're gonna
Yeah.
circle back around to it. But honestly, it helps me with communication as well.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
really, really
Yeah, of
important for me.
course.
Like, let's say I'm angry at someone, instead of confronting them immediately, I use the book as a buffer. So I use my journal as a
To
buffer.
kind of put yourself in a
Yeah, dude,
different
I'm like
perspective.
literally, I'm all caps in here, and I'm like,
Yeah.
so and so pissed me off, and blah blah
Uh,
blah blah blah. And I read it, and as I'm journaling, I'm like, wait a minute, I need to take a
It's okay. Your
chill.
journal can take it.
My
You take the
journal,
hit.
she's very strong.
Does she have a name?
I don't. She doesn't have a name, but she's strong.
Okay.
Well, I'll figure it out later because
Okay.
there's we evolve, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm just gonna read the first page because
Oh
I
my
wrote something on the first page, and every time I have a journal, I have something on there.
Mhm.
But the first
gosh.
page says, I am deserving of good things, healthy love, authentic relationships, and new beginnings.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
She's like a bug.
Oh my gosh. Even Solomon
I
like,
think you should
oh.
read that one more time for the
Yeah.
again because I
Okay.
need to.
Louder for
You
the
guys have
back.
Louder for the people in the
listening
back.
ears on.
Yes.
Just kidding. I am deserving of good things, healthy love, authentic relationships, and new beginnings. You are
Authentic
too.
relationship. Oh,
Girl, you're
make
an
us cry.
inspiration, I swear.
You
Where
guys
were
are so
you
sweet.
like 6, 7 years ago when I needed a friend?
Aw.
Like,
I wasn't ready yet because,
yeah,
as Michael
I
knows,
get it.
the version of myself 3 or 4 years ago is not the version that you
Mhm.
guys are here
Oh, I'm
with
gonna
today.
cry. Stop it.
We didn't bring the tissues, Michael. We
Oh,
cannot
we didn't.
cry.
Salma need
Okay,
tissues.
suck it back up in your eye.
Okay.
The tissue is
No,
under
no,
the
no, just
coffee
let it out.
table.
It's
Oh, he's
authentic.
ready. I'm just kidding.
It's under the
Um,
coffee table.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
oh, perfect. Oh my god.
Yeah. So, I mean, Michael already knows this, and we talked about it earlier today, but there was a time where it was a month after therapy. So I went to therapy, um, like on March 2021,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
April 2021. Michael and I had a picnic,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a whole different aura, as
Yes.
Michael will
Dang.
Yes.
attest to.
Yeah.
So that was like already a culmination of therapy for 1 month and journaling for 1 month. So that's already like a shift in energy that I already felt.
And you have to
And
go
yeah,
ahead.
no, 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 go
You
ahead.
have to understand, anyone who knows Merge, I mean, Ronnie, you know her through me and
Yeah.
having the small interactions. She's a beacon of light. She's
Yeah, no,
somebody that
she's
like literally
so
just
shiny.
radiates and lights up a room immediately. Her
Yeah.
smile. Look at that. Come on. Hello. She's a ball of sunshine. But so it was really hard for me seeing kind of like the tail end of that relationship or that connection come to an end because you saw that she was just not 100% there. I was
Mhm.
like, where's the bubbly Merge that I knew
Yeah,
about?
yeah. I
Where was
fell off
that?
the face
And
of
I
the earth.
remember,
Yeah.
and I don't mean to bring
No,
this
no, you're
up,
good.
but there was a moment we were on the phone and I'm like, she doesn't sound
Yeah, I remember that.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, this is not the same. So take that image. And I didn't, as a good friend that I am, not tooting my own horn, but just saying, like, I didn't
I'll
pry it.
take
I
it.
was like, hey, tell me what's going on. I obviously saw something was
Yeah.
wrong, but I didn't want to, like, like pry and like
Yeah,
weld it out of her until
yeah.
she was ready to come to me. And I'm thankful that she did. So at that picnic, at that moment, April 7th, 2021,
2021.
yes, at the park,
Dang.
everything had shifted that moment. I was like, "Girl, you're back." And
Oh my
it's not even
gosh,
the same
yeah.
energy. It's like this new burst of energy and life and light and like it was beautiful.
Yeah, and he didn't even know what was going
I
on. I
didn't
didn't even tell him. I
Gosh.
at that
didn't tell
point.
him until October. So,
Dang.
like, we had a
I
I
waited.
I started in therapy in March, and then we had a picnic in April,
Mhm.
and then I finally told him in October. I didn't tell any of my friends. Like, I was just really like to myself, and I mean, I want to like give myself a pat on the back for that because like yes, I did like withhold it from other people, but I like really like I didn't want to tell people until I was ready. Like until it was, like I was fully healed from not fully, but like I was healed
Yeah.
like enough to the point where I am able to tell my story and
Mhm.
find my voice.
Oh, I love it.
But yeah, so therapy.
Oh my
Gosh,
gosh.
Yeah,
that
but
was deep.
It's yeah.
you
I
guys are so
like
cute.
no, I'm relating it to my own experience as
Yeah,
well
of
because
course.
like long time relationship. I got
Of
married when
course.
I was what 22,
Yeah.
young. I was a
Oh,
kid,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and my husband's been my longest lasting relationship since I was 18.
That's
So
beautiful.
yeah, but it's not easy.
Of course. Nothing
Yeah,
is
no, no, of
nothing
course,
worth having comes easy,
of
right?
course,
So
of
Michael's
course.
So, I'm gonna take notes. No.
Yeah.
She's like a fortune cookie, like nothing worth having comes easy. Oh my God, yes, take that. Absolutely. You need to make like merge notes, like
Yeah, don't
that'd be
worry.
We
cool.
should
Oh,
do
that'd be
that.
cute.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
With your
We're,
handwriting. Okay.
yeah, we're already
Idea.
planning. Yeah. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
already planning.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Wait, Ronnie. So if it's 20, you were 22 and you're now 32, turning on 33, because we're both turning 33 next month,
So
birthday
10,
month.
All right,
well,
So
birthday
10 years
10
month.
years.
married.
But then
Um,
you've been together for,
oh God. 14 years, I guess, going on. So it's
Beautiful.
a
That's
long,
beautiful.
long time.
It
It's
is.
it's a very arduous journey. I think when I started therapy, we were 5 years married and we were going through some like really deep issues in our marriage. Um, yeah, a lot of like really hard things. I don't
Mhm.
know how to best explain it, but it was not the happiest time in my life.
Mhm.
We certainly were not good to each other in every aspect, in every way. And I sought therapy to relieve whatever pain I was going through in my head and in my soul. Like um, couldn't quite function. I was really tearing myself apart.
Mm.
Like I knew I needed help when I went out with some coworkers for like a going away party and I got belligerently drunk. Like belligerently.
Oh my gosh.
To the point where like I came home and I blacked out
Oh my
and I didn't remember anything. Bro, it was out of fucking Buffalo Wild Wings. Like
Not the Buffalo, not BB
like
Dubs. Yeah.
yeah, and then I was so ashamed that I was like, you know what? I do need help. I do need to find something. And I did one of those like subscription based mental health
We
apps,
will not name.
which we will not
We
name.
won't. We
We
won't.
will
We
not.
won't.
We will not.
But it was advertised everywhere. So I did it. And I loved my therapist. She was
Mhm.
like, she was like my best friend for a
Oh.
good while.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, until it got too expensive and I had to like drop off.
Like, girl, you're too expensive. Yeah, yeah.
But yes, I was seeing her like 2 to 3
Right,
times a
right.
week. Every time I needed her, I would just text her. Um, we would have 30-minute video sessions. It was good. It was good. I was getting to a good spot when I stopped therapy with her. Pandemic happened.
Mm,
Wow. Okay.
rough.
And
That's
then
really
like
rough.
the pandemic really threw me for a loop because like, you know, not only were my marital issues like they were getting better, but being in a confined closed space with my husband 100% of the time, a lot of our like deep-seated issues came to light. We had to power through them with as many late night arguing and like
Conversation.
conversations, deep conversations. We had to power through it. And then 2021 my dad died. So,
I'm sorry.
yeah. I think like during the middle of the pandemic I had sought out therapy again but via my own insurance.
Yes.
And I found out I had this like found this really wonderful older therapist and she was so sweet. She was very spiritual based
Yeah.
and holistic and I loved it.
Love it.
She put a lot of things into perspective that I could not I just didn't realize. I had to have somebody put things in perspective for me to realize that like I have to fight for my relationship. I have to fight for my marriage. I have to choose to love my husband every single day. And
Mm.
eventually it was hard at first, but our relationship just got better. It got better. And then when my dad had died, she was my rock.
Aw.
Yeah.
Aw,
She was my rock.
that's beautiful.
That's really sweet.
Yeah. And then she got sick and I just
Mm.
yeah, she got sick at the beginning of 2022
Mhm.
and like we just lost contact with each
Yeah.
other. And then I hadn't had a therapist since then. I
Okay.
recently got back into therapy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back.
Like last Friday was my
Let's
first session.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was last week too.
So was my.
Mm.
We all did- we did
Okay.
homework. We did
Well,
homework.
yeah, you guys told me we were gonna have a therapy.
Oh, thank you for the applause. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You guys said we're doing therapy, so
That's
I
true.
called up my therapist. I was like, "Hey, we gotta."
Yeah,
have
yeah,
I didn't even
yeah.
think about that. That's so weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
And
the timing of it all.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
my new therapist, she's sweet. We're still in the getting to know you
Of
stage.
course.
So
Of
like
course.
I've got a session every week with her.
Cute.
My biggest thing though was that like when coming to a new therapist, like I'm kind of heartbroken that I have to rehash everything. It's rediscovering the pain again. And I let my therapist know
Mm.
this and she says, "Well, it's good to have a fresh perspective on it.
Yes.
And it's good to sort of discover yourself through different lens."
Mm.
Um because yeah, it's not easy. And like a lot of that trauma that had previously occurred needs to be brought up to
Mhm.
heal
Mhm.
if it's not properly healed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, I used to journal too. I don't anymore.
You want to join the club?
I
I'll send you the
mean,
we gotta
Amazon.
do
you're
journal
inspiring me.
sessions.
I'm gonna
Listen.
send you a link.
Give me
with
one of
it.
Oh,
those.
yeah.
Honestly.
Yes, I need
Yes.
it.
And do they have green? Oh, green.
They do.
They do?
They have
Bet.
a green. A green.
You're really just here
letter.
to promote that, right?
I need them to
Oh,
sponsor
Amazon shop
me.
with your
Amazon. Yeah, no, honestly,
commission?
make the affiliate link. We're going to sell them out.
Yeah, my first one has like a heart on it, and this one
Oh.
has a tree. You're
Trees.
growing.
That's
into-
your growth. Oh,
You know it, girl.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Michael knows this. Like, I love journals. Those what birthday gifts, Christmas gifts.
Mhm.
Okay, when's your birthday?
Yeah, yeah. September 13th.
Well, noted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think we should have like a journal session. That'd be cute.
Okay, so
Oh, because yes, she's like, I got the date. Let's.
Okay.
She's gonna schedule it in the calendar.
so we should definitely do it in
Yeah.
September,
My birthday, our birthday
Yeah,
month.
really.
your
Yeah.
birthday month, and
Yeah.
we should definitely do it somewhere like super calm, serene. Because Michael and I have done these before.
Yeah.
They're okay. Let me pull up my journal entry. I bookmarked.
She's
it.
got receipts.
Okay, well, Michael and I went to the beach one time,
Yeah.
and
August.
was it August? Hold on, there's
2022.
so many of them.
She
You
tabbed
already-
them out before to
I love
mark them
the
as talking
I love
points.
the tabs.
She's
I was
she's
like,
she's in school, so she does the work.
I'm
if I loved my
forever a
handwriting as
learner.
much as like it,
Your handwriting's
my
nice.
handwriting is terrible. Are you kidding me? I haven't like handwritten anything in the last
She's like,
unless
just
it,
slack. Just
yeah, I just slack
Um,
people.
okay, wait, I will speak for journaling and writing.
yeah.
Even if you don't like your handwriting, just remember that this is for you
Yeah,
Mm,
and nobody else needs to see it.
that's so
that's true.
So
true.
that was another
That's so
reason
true.
that I told my therapist, I was like, "Hey, if it's not perfect, I don't want to do it." That like I'm like
Oh, I'm like that.
I used to be
Oh my
like
god.
hella type A.
Yeah.
I'm like not anymore. But like I used to be I used to be hella type A, right? And I was like, if it doesn't look perfect, I'm ripping it out. Or if I wrote in it and if I rip it out and the journal doesn't look right, I'm starting a new journal.
Oh,
I used to be hella like that. Like
I'm
I
like
would
that
have
right now.
so you gotta listen to this. 'Cause my therapist helped me out. Basically, like this journal is for you, right?
Yeah.
So you can rip it out if you want, but if you write in it consistently, it'll benefit you more than just ripping it out. And it's not about that. It's
Yeah.
about the words. It's about what comes out. Some of these pages I'm really angry, and
Yeah.
like the pen ink almost goes to the next page.
mm,
Like it's to the point where it looks so ugly, and I'm just like,
Right.
but I look back at it and I'm like, look, I put the anger on here and I didn't hurt someone else's feelings
It's
with
it's
words that I
the
didn't mean,
yeah.
yeah.
right? So, that really helped me. And also, like, if you find a pen that you like, that would be really good. Sometimes, like, I forget my pen, and it's like I have to have a shitty
Sure.
pen,
Yeah.
like just writing in it. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that. And then the second point that I have about journaling, I'm just here to promote
It's your
journaling.
You know
masterclass in
what?
journaling right
It is.
here.
It's
Sign me
fine. It's
up.
finding your voice. She's finding her voice through
Through a paper
journaling,
and pen.
Through
Yeah.
paper
and
and
I am
pen.
being sold it. So,
Sold it. Yes.
so
Yes.
continue because
Yeah.
this is my masterclass.
Okay, so the reason why you should physically write it rather than type it, my therapist and I kind of looked into it, is that your writing by hand, right? Your thoughts are really, really fast, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times we're in our heads, right? We're just like, oh my God, like life sucks. And like, oh, I have to worry about this. I have to worry about that. I have to worry about this. And oh my God, did I forget to lock the door? And right? So, like a million things, right? And we also have our insanely short attention span thanks to short form media
Mhm.
and social media and all of that, right? So, the reason why journaling by hand with a pen and paper is good is because your hand writing is slower than your mind. So you're like, I'm so angry, blah blah blah. Even if you write really fast,
Yes.
That's
you can't
true. You
write as
can't
It
fast
write
as
as
you
allows
think.
you
fast
to
as you
like
think.
process your actual
Like,
emotions and
that's what I
say
thought.
and
Everybody,
put
and
it
this is
out
it.
there.
This is it. This is why I journal.
Okay.
It makes you slow down. It
Yeah.
makes you realize that I'm angry for X, Y, and Z and W, X, Y, and Z, right? But is it really that? Or am I internalizing something from before? Am I not processing it
Yeah.
step by step?
Yeah.
So when you journal it and you give yourself that time to journal it, your hand becomes kind of like your mind. So you're like, okay. And sometimes I'm journaling and I'm like, dang, this really hurts, right? Because like I journal really quick,
Yeah.
but then I realize like, oh, I'm actually processing the thoughts.
Yeah.
And I can go back to, let's say I'm arguing with someone,
Yeah.
right? I can go back to that person that I'm arguing with and I'm like, okay, I've taken a breath and I've thought about what I want and I've thought
Mhm.
about how I want to proceed with this and I want to give
Yeah.
you the floor to do that too.
Mm.
So it lets you be a little bit more cognizant of the other person. It lets you be a little bit more cognizant of like
Yeah.
yourself. And you can put all your irrational thoughts and all of that on here,
Right.
but it helps you like withdraw from saying things that will hurt other people that you
Right.
don't mean,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know?
Because there's like such heightened emotions that happen when things
Yeah.
So
hit
quick.
us. We want to
It's
be
so
like,
quick.
fuck you, like
Yeah.
all this
Yeah.
stuff,
You break things, you
and you write it
slam
down.
doors, it's
Yeah.
really loud.
Let the journal take it. Journal it out. That's the thing.
You have to, yeah,
And
you
it's
really
beautiful.
do.
Just to go back on
Yeah.
like literally like writing something down. There's something about that solidifies something within yourself when you do that. Just going back to some journal entries that I had in mind when you were talking about, because I'm like, so the way you talk about journaling is so profound. You need to make a masterclass on journaling,
I mean,
honestly.
like she needs her own
She's your first
podcast.
customer.
I'm
I'm just
sorry.
Right, we'll
saying,
be your
like,
first.
here's the journal prompt for today, and I'll
Oh,
be
my
like,
goodness.
yes,
Today's journal
girl,
prompt
yes.
is the new Sesame Street, but with like merge.
I
Yeah,
know.
but like no, there are moments where I've like definitely written journal entries where I was pissed off, and by the end I go, oh, I wasn't mad after all. It just felt there's, you go through that journey just on that
Mhm.
page, and it's
Yeah, sometimes our anger is like really fleeting and sometimes it's just like temporary.
yeah.
And you could say something that is more permanent that you
Hmm.
don't really mean. You could do something more permanent that you don't really mean, you
Hmm.
know?
Hmm.
So actions definitely speak louder than words, but you have to like let your words out first,
Hmm.
you know? And figure out what your next action is. It's
Yeah.
basically planning. It's planning your next
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of next sections, if you don't mind
Yes.
me like
Yeah.
jumping onto the next segment that I'd like to go into, it still talks about journaling and mental health and such, but like
Okay.
throughout your journey here of journaling and your therapy and healing, what are certain moments, key moments where you struggled with, if you don't mind, like sharing certain parts of that were
Okay. Yeah, I wrote it down.
okay. She's like, yeah, I got it. Mhm.
I have answers for
Okay.
this.
I need to got my journal and pen and start taking notes.
Okay. Okay. So the first one that I wrote is the top one of the toughest lessons. And this I'm still constantly and consistently having to teach myself this because you kind of have to take a step back and breathe and remember to stay in the moment.
Merge, you need your own podcast.
Hey, Merge, I have a question with something you were talking about with regard to journaling.
Yes.
Now, like you said, there was a transition because you're saying the journal is for you, and
Yes.
I was thinking that when we write, the biggest thing is we're always taught to write with the idea that somebody else is going to read it, right?
Yes.
And so, my question for you is how hard was that to transition over to really to the point where you're like going, I can write freely? Because when you're writing for somebody else, you're restricting, you're checking your sentences, you're talking about what you want to say, what you don't want to say, what
Mhm.
you think people are going to read. How hard was it to get to the point where you can really just write freely and just really let it all out on paper?
Yeah. It took me a really long time actually. Um, so I told you like I'm very homework based. So I literally told my therapist, I was like, what's my homework assignment? Blah blah blah. So she was like, I want you to journal without worrying about like what it looks like. I don't want you to worry about how often you journal. I just want you to journal. Right. So that was one of the things. And then the other thing is at this simultaneously while I was going to therapy, I left social media.
Mm,
Mm.
So,
so smart.
so I literally disappeared off the face of the earth. I'm
Yeah.
barely slowly
Yeah.
inching my way back in. But if you're watching this, you're the only one who knows because nobody really knows that I'm online. So if you're
Mhm.
watching this, then you I can actually, you'll find me. But
Unless you're back,
unless
unless it airs, and then
unless
you're
I'm
back.
taking an exam
Yes.
and then I deleted it off my phone. But anyways, what I wanted to go back to what Solomon said is the reason why I started writing for myself is it's the same exact thing as social media, right? So you know how when you go on social media, you're posting for everybody else,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
so true.
exactly, right? And I'm trying to get away from that and I think journaling has helped me because when you're journaling, literally, I don't want people to read my journal. I say a lot of stuff in here. You
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
see
yeah.
what's in here because I'm really angry sometimes. Not all the time, but So Michael was saying earlier, right, that like I'm really happy and bubbly and bright and stuff like that. I'm only that because I have another side that I shove in my journal, right? Because my journal takes it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Not just that, but other forms of therapy. Because I sing and I write and I talk to friends and stuff. But therapy can dampen that negativity. So those people that you see that are every day really angry, they're yelling at people, they're,
Mhm.
putting out their anger on other people, it's because they don't have access to that. Not all of them. Some of them may have it, but some of them may not have access to the correct type of therapy or they haven't
So
found the way
true.
to relieve that
Yeah,
stress
yeah,
off of their
yeah.
chest. So now I've found that. I have that. I have journaling. I have my friends. I can literally, Michael and I do like a morning thing where we
Right.
call each other. And,
On the way to work.
hey, I just wanted to check in. And at the end of our call, Michael will be like, thank you for checking in.
Oh.
So that's another form of therapy.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, the reason why I don't write for other people is because it's not about other people. Your life is for you. Right? Are you taking notes? Your life.
Oh,
That's
your life
so
is for
Your
you.
true.
life is
That's
literally
so
for you.
true.
Like at the end
Yeah.
of the day, those people who you think are going to read your notes or those people who you think are going to see your posts, are they going to appreciate it like you appreciate it? Are they going
Mm.
to Are they gonna live the life that you're living? Because like for me, when I look through my journal, I'm like, oh my God, I really got through that day. Like
Aw.
some of these, when I think about it, I had the worst day.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, oh my God, that day really sucked, but like I'm okay, you know?
You're
You're
here.
getting
So you're here.
emotional.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm an Aquarius. Anyways, um,
Yeah.
but like it's really interesting to go back to that, and that wouldn't be authentic if I didn't write it for myself.
Mm.
If I wrote that for someone else and I was like, today was such a good day, blah 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 blah, and dear journal, like if I started everything with dear journal and like today blah 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 blah, or today kind of sucked, if I dampened it and if I sugarcoated it as if
Mm.
someone else was gonna read it, I
Mm.
can't go back to that day.
Oh
I
my
can't. I
gosh.
can't look back at it. I'm just gonna be like,
Right.
okay, that's kind of boring. Why would I want to keep this journal? Why would this
It's like
mean anything
it's
to
like
me?
putting a filter on your journal.
Exactly.
You're
Mhm.
Right.
not really.
It's
It's putting a,
literally
it's
putting a
putting a
filter on
filter on your
your
voice, on your
Oh,
inner
journal.
voice. Oh,
Okay.
no, I do relate to that like so hard because when I
Exactly.
stopped journaling,
Yeah.
I noticed that my entries were me filtering myself,
Exactly.
and I stopped it because like I couldn't trust the voice in my head. I couldn't, and I couldn't trust
Yeah.
how my intuition was coming out on the pages. Like,
You just kind of gotta
and
let
then
it
like,
go.
it was like, all right, I don't want to journal anymore. There's no point if I'm not
Yeah.
if this does not feel authentic.
Exactly. And there are ways to kind of get into it. Like,
Mhm.
let's say if you're not really comfortable of going into journaling immediately,
Yeah.
there's plenty of journal prompts, but my favorite ones are usually like 3 things I'm looking forward to today. And then at the end of, and then if you want to write about your day, and then three
Yeah.
things I'm grateful for. But another thing that I like to think about is like, if you're angry, journal. If you're happy, journal. If you're anything, like if you're, it's more heavy for me personally. I like to journal more on the days that it's really hard.
Mm.
Not to say that I don't want to remember the days that are easy, but it's a little bit easier for me nowadays to write on those hard days. And now looking back at it, I was like, dang, I really got through that. You really did that, girl. Like I'd be reading my
Proud
journal
of
and I'm like,
you. Oh my
okay.
gosh.
Like that, some of these journal entries, especially in the beginning of this list, right? Some of these,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I thought that was the worst thing. And then I went through worse. And then I went through even worse than that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see like the transformation of the threshold of what I can handle and see like what I'm capable, which by the way, that's my favorite word is capable, like in Tagalog, in
Yeah.
our language,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
what I'm capable of, right? So you can see that progress, and you wouldn't see that if you sugarcoated it. If you put a filter in, if you put a filter on yourself, that's like putting a filter on your soul, you know?
Oh my god.
What?
You guys are so cute.
The
I
nugget
like it.
after
No.
nugget.
So good. Like, oh my
Oh my
god.
god. The conversational wizard. What?
It's the spell book.
No, really, she
It's her
put us under her
grimoire, I
spell. That's to be the name of the
swear.
episode.
$29.99
Merge-
Amazon.
Use merge at checkout or something.
know.
You know what? It's filled with her emotions. That's why it's so
Yeah.
powerful.
No, it's so
Yeah.
beautiful. Would you say that's like one of the toughest or like biggest lessons you've learned? Is
Yes,
like
hold on, I
just
have
don't-
more that I wrote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that one.
ready for we need a two-parter. We need like
Oh, I
2
know. I'm
episodes.
so sorry.
We need to have like a episode 5.5.
That's cute.
Like that.
5 and a
I
half.
think that's like a premium content.
I'm
Oh,
down.
yeah.
I'm down. You guys are so cute. So that's one of them. Oh, I didn't even get to the toughest lessons. We actually didn't get to that
I was
part.
trying to segue into that, but
We-
please.
We were
My
trying
God.
to segue into
Yeah,
that,
the
right?
sirens
Yeah,
were
yeah.
blazing.
Yeah. No, which is totally it, as is life, right?
Oh.
It's so true.
The call is coming from outside the house. Okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
so toughest lessons. That's what you were
Yes,
trying to ask me, right?
Please.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the
You
first.
drive, you know what? Just-
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
hate driving, but I'll drive this one.
You know what? You're good at this. So
I'm-
go
No,
ahead.
go, please.
I'm trying to be a passenger princess. Yeah. Anyways,
Not the passenger princess. No, go ahead, please.
okay, so toughest lessons,
Mhm.
right? So the first one that I wrote is you can't control others. You can only control your actions. So like that's one of the things we often hear, right? We often hear that on like especially if you're in that space on social media and you're like following all of these like like positivity, all of that. But until you really think about that, that is probably the hardest thing for me. Because a lot of times I go through life and I'm just like this. I'm just like, hey, blah, 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 how are you, blah, blah, blah. But if I run into like full stop into like someone who's just like, ew, I don't like your energy, or blah, 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 that's not on me. That's something I always consistently have to remind myself. It's not on me. Like they're going through their own pain. They are going through their own life, their own way, you know? And a lot of times I actually learned this through nursing and through my patients, right? Because sometimes I'll go into to a patient's room or a patient's house, right? And they'll be in a really good mood, right? Be like, "Oh my god, hey, how are you? Oh, you're my wound care nurse. You're my pediatric nurse, whatever, right?" And they're really happy. But that's not how it is all the time. Sometimes, a lot of times, when people go into like doctors' offices or like the hospital, they're in pain, and that pain is not always physical, right?
Yeah.
So they may not have a cut on their body, they may not be whatever, but they may be like physically in pain inside, or they may be emotionally in pain, they might be stressed. So I can't control that someone's stressed about something. All I can do is offer what I can offer. And if you want to take that, you can take that, but if I can't do anything else to help you, that is out of my hands, right? And that's what I'm starting to learn, not only like with my work, but also like, with my family, my friends,
Right.
because a lot of times I want to help, like all I want to do is help people, but not everybody is ready to take that help. Not everybody is open to take that help. Not everybody has their soul, open for um criticism. Not even criticism, but like not everybody is
Yeah.
ready to take it.
Mhm.
So, you know.
Yeah.
That's one of the first one. Hold on, let me get
Oh
the
my
other one.
gosh.
You guys are
I don't know.
School of
you guys
Merge.
are adorable.
Well, because it's hitting home.
No,
Oh
it
yeah, of
is.
You're
course.
speaking to
I'm
the two perfectionists here who
Virgos.
like,
Oh, cute. I'm an Aquarius. I just be flying about.
No, it's so true. It's all of that's resonating. Especially, go ahead, look for
Yeah.
the next
No, you
thing.
could continue.
But it's just I lost my train of thought because I'm still
We're
reeling
like
over that.
Which is totally
absorbing it.
fine, and you take it all at your own pace. Okay?
Oh, I want to
Yeah.
thank you for calming me down with that
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
wonderful voice. By the way, like if you're not listening with headphones, put them on right now. Listening
are so
to
cute.
Merch. We always joke that she should have an ASMR channel.
I believe it. I would listen to it religiously.
Can you give them like a hey, good morning?
Okay. Hi, welcome to Finding Your Voice. This is Merge with Ronnie and Michael. And if you're listening, buy yourself a journal and make sure you write something on the
Late
front
night radio.
page.
My hat just fell off. Oh my god.
Make sure you hydrate and take care of yourself, not only your mind, body, and soul, but emotionally, existentially, physically. And remember, you're so loved.
That's the intro.
Can you like do like meditations for me? Like
She is.
Why don't we do some breaths?
Oh,
like,
okay.
okay.
Sure.
This became a therapy session.
You guys are well, let's just do 3.
Okay.
I feel like we have time for 3 breaths, and then I feel like we'll be ready for the
Here
next
for
one.
it.
Okay, so let's sit up.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So close your eyes. And let's take a deep breath in. Hold. 1, 2, 3. And breathe out. Let all of your tension out. Take a deep breath in. Hold. 1, 2, 3. And let all of your tension out. Breathe out. Last one. Deep breath in. Hold. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to let out a ah. And the last one. And breathe out. Ah. You can open your eyes now.
Feel better. Like my
wow.
energy has shifted. Like I'm not.
Good.
You know how they say like you could change your life in just a breath. I feel like with all just like
You all just changed right
we
now.
just changed right now. You are. Oh my gosh.
You
Yeah.
guys are so cute.
It's my favorite episode so
Me
far,
too.
guys. Like
She's like,
I
"Me too."
mean, I mean,
And not 'cause
I
you're
don't know.
on.
I have such admiration for Merge.
I
Aw.
do.
This episode and
Thank
like,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You rarely meet people like her, and I do feel
No,
like
she's a
I can't
spitfire
look at her
of,
while I
like,
tell her
energy.
this.
Yeah, I can't look
I
at
can't
her
look at
when
her
you
while I
said
tell her this. So I'm gonna stare over here, but I
Stare
do.
her.
I do. No. No, I do feel like she was sort of sent in my life for a reason, and you meet people who come to bring you a lesson or blessing, and I feel like she's the embodiment of those two
Yeah,
things, a
I feel
lesson
like
and a
merge is a
blessing.
sign in my life right now. Like just through this conversation in this podcast. And I don't know what the sign is, but
It's okay. You'll find out.
You're emerging
I'm emerging.
to the new higher self or whatever it is. My
You
gosh,
guys are
she's.
so
I just picture you
cute.
on on the freeway and this merge on a sign, just like waving her faces on the sign.
You guys
She's
are so
everywhere.
Yeah, she's everywhere. But no, I truly mean that. I feel like I didn't meet you like by coincidence, but that was fate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. But yeah, that's probably the hardest lesson that I'm continuing to learn is that you can't control anybody. It's
Yeah.
it's about how you react to things and how you can regulate your emotions, you know?
Mm.
Because the thing is, you can't like nothing in life, like there's gonna be things, there's gonna be other people. Everybody has their own lives, right? We're the center of our own lives.
Yeah.
You know, as much as we want to be like, yeah, I'm all for you, and you have to be the center of your own life, right? You are the star.
Yeah.
And as you being the star, everybody is their own star. So they're gonna be clashing. But all you can do is protect yourself, protect that little inner child. You know, that's all you can do.
Man, you're speaking words of wisdom. I feel like it's both of us because we're still in our healing journeys.
All of us,
All of us,
yeah,
yeah.
all
Yeah.
of us. And that's okay. And I think that's beautiful. That's like every time you journal and also think about your healing journey and or vent to people or go to therapy, think about that as like shielding your inner child from all of this bad stuff and think like this is
Good way to
like your inner
put it,
child and you're like
seriously.
this and you're
Little
you're
bubble.
building a little wall or a little igloo around them so that they can get protected because there's going to be things that try to hurt you, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be things
Mhm.
that are out of your control that try to hurt you.
Right.
Mm.
And
There's
there's still
got-
parts of
yeah.
our inner child that gets hurt by certain
Mhm.
things.
And-
Those
and
unpacked
that's-
traumas.
That's
yeah.
okay. That's what you're here for.
Mhm.
We're all 30, right? Yeah, all of our 30-year-old selves are here for because now we're capable. We're armed with the
Mhm.
right artillery, right? You got your journal, you got your
Yeah.
therapy, you got all of it. So that's your ammo to fight like whatever else you have in the world. It's not like yeah, there's going to be like mean people and there's people like fighting and stuff. Your fight is between you and all of this like negativity that comes from your daily life. And how are you going to regulate your emotions? And how are you going to protect your inner child? Like that's the goal,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? So
My goodness, this was a
yeah.
therapy
Gosh.
session.
It's funny because Merge and I hung out all day
Yeah.
because I had the day off and I was like, we're just gonna hang out. We could, we usually have like check-in days where we
Yeah.
set aside time
Yeah,
to
yeah,
hang out
yeah.
with each other. But I was like, yeah, don't worry, Merge. It's not gonna be a therapy session. I'm not gonna cry, whatever.
She's therapizing us.
She's therapizing us. Therapize.
Therapizing.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
let's put that
Me
in
and Michael are
Oxford
sitting here
Dictionary.
like, oh, reflecting.
You guys are
and
actually like
reflecting.
so adorable.
Where's the camera?
Okay, wait, can I take a
Thank
picture?
you.
too? Like, this is like the cutest thing.
I think
Oh
Solomon
my
was gonna be changed by
Aw,
you being here as well.
yay.
Yeah.
Therapizing.
Yeah, we need to give her a
Therapizing.
photo because we got to put it on.
Oh yeah, we
the
will. We
art
will.
Yeah.
We
for
will.
later on. But
This was
yeah,
fun. I
so-
love this session.
yeah,
This was my favorite session so
Me
far.
too. Me
Yeah.
too. But that is my toughest lesson that I have learned.
We're gonna
Yeah.
bring you back because we want
absolutely.
You let me know. You let
Yeah.
me
Oh
know.
my gosh, I think it's also something.
I'll probably have a new journal by then.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
look,
yeah, you
I
will,
only,
'cause you'll
I
have, like, a-
literally only
Okay,
have
let's make it like
this
a
much left.
let's make it like a thing for us, like today or
Yeah.
sometime this week. So
Yeah.
it could be other shit going on.
Yes.
Write like journal.
Yeah.
If you have the courage to do it, just write something. Maybe like a
will.
little note for yourself.
And if you guys don't have the courage, you text me. Okay.
okay.
Because I'll leave you a voice message and I'll be like, I'll tell you all about journaling again.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, I know it's.
We should
Yeah.
start a group chat.
You're trying to get back into journaling, and I don't mean to
Yeah.
like do it, but like
No,
I think it's a
no.
great exercise for you.
I think like having a pressure like that is
Or
something
accountability.
That, yeah, no, not just the accountability is good, but the reason why I was so successful in journaling is that my therapist was like, just do it at least once. Like there's no pressure because the less pressure I took off, the more willing I was to do it. I'm
Yeah,
very
I'm like
rebellious.
that.
I'm
like that.
hella
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
rebellious. If someone
Yeah.
tells me to do something, I'm gonna say no.
Oh my God, that's so
So if someone tells me to do something like, yeah, you need to do therapy, you need to journal
Then no,
every single
yeah.
day, I'm
Screw that.
not gonna
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
But if you tell me gently,
Yes.
hey, you should do like a journal entry if you can.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. Like I'll be like, oh yeah, totally.
So
I
this
totally
is a
can.
gentle nudge to say,
Yeah.
hey, journal
Yeah,
this
and
week.
listen, like if you can give yourself 2 hours on TikTok, you can give yourself 30 minutes on journaling.
Okay, all right. Don't get
Okay.
attacked.
Not attacking anything
More like
in
4,
specific,
6 hours.
but
Oh,
like
look at you.
no, but like for real, if anybody who's if
Yeah.
you're listening, I'm looking at you right now. Like
Where are the cameras? Yeah.
if
Oh, shoot.
you're listening and you watch TikTok for at least an hour today, you can give yourself 10 minutes on your journal.
She said
You
what
can
she
give
said.
yourself even 1 minute and deep breathing.
That's so
That's true.
true.
I will say
Yeah.
during that breath exercise, the first one I was like, okay, I'm in my head. Second one, I started to settle
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Third one felt more emotional and things started to come up.
Yeah.
So
And that's just 3 breaths. That took less than 30 seconds.
That's so true.
And you know, like if you do that before you do something, like let's say you're gonna go to an interview, let's say you're gonna go to work and you don't want to see those people or whatever, you know, you do those 3 breaths. Like it's like armor.
yeah.
That's so true.
This is also armor.
There's so many nuggets from this episode. I can't even.
I mean,
If you like what? Like we need to have you on again.
Yeah.
we do.
I wish we
Yeah, I
could
mean-
have you on for like another hour or so, but
You guys
that's
are so sweet.
we're running
Uh,
we're running out
we're
of
running
time.
out of time, but it's okay.
It's okay.
all right.
Because like even though the time is limited right now, you know, we still have more time in the future.
She's a freaking fortune cookie. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Yeah. We want to thank you so much for being a part of this podcast.
Yay.
Yeah, applause. Where's the cheers? Yes,
Yay.
merge on our freeway. But thank you so much for sharing your light, sharing your insights, being vulnerable, and showing up
course.
for yourself today, and for sharing your voice, even
Of
though it's not only with your actual voice, but the voice that comes about
Yeah.
from when paper meets the
Yeah.
pen.
And I do have like one last thing to say. You know how like you were saying I'm being vulnerable? And this is like to anybody who's like watching, right? If you're watching this and you're scared to be vulnerable to anybody and open up to anybody, it's actually like it's gonna make you stronger to be vulnerable, to open yourself up and let people in and let a community in and let other people in. And like right now, we're having a session, right? This is actually really scary. This is my first
Yeah.
podcast. There's a lot of lights
You're
in
doing
here.
so
And I'm
well.
letting myself be vulnerable.
Mhm.
But honestly, this is making me stronger. It's building up my little
I could see the
crab
little
shell.
igloo.
You can see my
It's
little
like,
igloo,
yeah.
like covering my little younger merged self when I was like 5 years old would never have imagined being here in a set and being on a podcast because I
Here
didn't
you
know
are.
what podcasts were at that time. But you
There
know,
are. Yeah, for sure.
so
Um,
let yourself be vulnerable. Let yourself, write it out. Even if not to someone else, if that's too scary, do it in a journal.
Cool. Do you want to do a quick little shameless plug about your socials or whatever?
Okay, cool,
Just, like,
yeah.
about you, and then we'll wrap up
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Camera,
socials?
yeah. If you want
Okay.
to just say you want to follow me or what you're up to, whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, hi, my name is Merge, like when you merge on a freeway. My Instagram is at mergemellow, MERGMELL0W. You'll find that on Instagram. That's pretty much the only like low-key place I'm on right now. I'm thinking of coming back onto YouTube. That is also my Twitch if I ever start streaming, because Michael's trying to get me into streaming.
Working on it.
But I'm pretty much off the grid. If I don't reply to your request right away, it's because I deleted the app for a little bit for my sanity.
Yeah.
And also because I need to focus on my life. Because at the end of the day, again, you are what matters most, right? You are who you have to focus on. Don't worry about anybody else. Don't compare yourself to that girl from high school or that boy from high school who is married or whatever. Like, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
It's about your life and how you're gonna level up from today to tomorrow.
Yes.
Right?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
yes. And on that note, we're ending here, right, Solomon? On this
Yes.
This camera right
okay.
there?
you
We
wanna-
sure are.
Okay.
And on that note, I mean that's
We're
That's
gonna-
it.
Yeah, this
we didn't have
was
to say
a great
Cookie Monster,
episode,
which is
great.
that's good. We'll
Amazing.
save it for later.
And it's also 2 words, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Solomon.
Okay, Solomon. Thank you, Solomon, with that beautiful interjection with the question that he had earlier. That was really
Yeah.
cool.
No problem.
You want to sign us off?
You can start the sign off.
Okay. All right. Thank y'all so much for listening to episode 5 with Merge. Remember that you can also follow our show page. It's acast.com/FYV pod. That's ACAST.com/FYV pod. You can also watch the visual version, obviously, if you're watching it on our YouTube channel. But once again, this is the Finding Your Voice podcast. My name is Michael.
And I'm Ronnie,
And remember that you have a story worth telling.
and a voice worth sharing.
Everyone wave. Octave.
Bye.
Bye.